We're with Mississippi College head coach John Bland as we look ahead to the McNeese State game this Saturday. But first of all, Coach, let's go back and talk just a little bit about the game against North Greenville last Saturday. I know all losses are tough to take, but this one had to be tough for you and your players as well. There's a key moment of the ball game where the Choctaws had a long touchdown catch. It was called back because of a penalty, and then on the very next play, a fumble in the end zone. That's a 2-touchdown swing, and that's a really tough one to swallow.
It is, and I felt like our receiver, Viante Williams, ran a great route. He avoided the contact, and we felt like it was a great play, to be honest with you. And I feel like that's one of those things where the referees, it's a judgment call, and it happened to be, I feel like, the wrong call, but it hurt us. There's no doubt about it. But I felt like if we could do it again, we'd run it the exact same way. That's the thing, and that's what we're teaching him to do. When there's going to be contact, he avoided with his hands. He did a great move, and it was a great call by Coach Laurendine. Great throw, everything except the touchdown. But it did hurt us. You're exactly right. It was a 14-point swing. The only thing we could have done better after that would be to just hang on to the ball, and if we didn't make a first, punt it out of there and make them earn it a little bit tougher. But it was had the momentum swing when that happened.
And we're starting to see some Choctaw receivers get better separation. I think that from my perspective, at least, being able to see it. And that's encouraging because that just opens up the offense even more. And I know that's what you want to do.
It does. And I feel like that's, our running game, although it seems like we're not scoring enough and we're not finishing drives. We're doing real good in the first quarter, and we're kind of tapering off a little bit. But I feel like our running game has been solid. And that forces secondary guys to come up and get involved in the running game, which is creating space for our receivers. And we've got some speed back there. Viante Williams is one, and Jacob Stevens is another. They can get behind people, and they've shown that. So we just got to get it to them. When we get open, we got to hit it. We got to be accurate and make them pay.
You talk about the running game setting up, that passing game.
Yes.
Cole Fagan had an outstanding game, especially that first drive. He looked really good carrying the football. He's been solid for you all the years he's been in your MC.
He is. He's hard to bring down. He's a really good runner in traffic, especially. He's, you think the defender thinks they're going to tackle him, but he just lowers that shoulder and gets that extra yard. It takes more than one person to bring Cole down, and he knows how to get north-south. He's not trying to bounce it and get sideline to sideline. He's going to gain yards, and that's what he did. And I feel like our blocking was good, but also he did a lot on his own as well.
Talk about the blocking, because you've had some changes on the offensive line over the first 3 ball games, try to put guys at different positions and finding a good matchup. What's that process like throughout the course of the week?
Well, it is. It's something that these guys need to learn more than one position. The thing about any position, you got to know what the purpose is of the play, and where the ball is we're trying to run the football or pass the football, where the quarterback is in protection. They got to understand those things, and then no matter what position they're at, they're going to have an idea. But it takes some learning. It takes practice, and that's one of the things we have in football that is maybe a little bit more limited than most, just because it is a physical game, and you've got to go fast. And it's hard to do that every day. But these guys have been doing it, and we've gotten some good practice in this week, more than the last few early in the season where we had a lot of rain. So it's been good for us in practice.
Despite the final score, everything that happened in the game was some missed calls and some turnovers and things like that. If you think back, and from my perspective, the defensive backs, I thought had a pretty good ball game. They broke up a lot of passes that could have been long plays for North Greenville.
I sure did, and that was really good to see. I think we made them go the long, hard way. We didn't tackle as well as we wanted. I know Coach Gilbert's addressed that. We didn't tackle as good as we wanted to. We were just going to get better and better at that. Our defense did play good, though, and we gave them a touchdown, obviously, with the fumble. The other score was off of an onside kick attempt. A lot of those scoring you're talking about was happening when we were trying to win and trying to come back after miscues by us, but also felt like we had some chances with I felt like they fumbled the ball early on, and we saw it on film that it was a missed call, but that's a drive they scored on. That's 7 points that we're trying to get back, and so that's things that I'm not trying to put everything on the officials, but all of it accumulates to, you know, not who we are, and that's what we're trying to overcome. I felt like we did, but just not enough. We didn't make those plays we needed to.
Do the players respond differently after a loss like the one we had against North Greenville, as opposed to one where they know, hey, we just got beat today? Because
there's no doubt.
Yeah, there's a different response from the players, isn't it?
Yes, big time, and the coaches. We need to stop right there.
Okay, that's fine. No problem there. No problem there. I want to go back to the special teams for just a minute, because there's been some struggles continuing with that particular unit, but the kick coverage was good this week.
Good.
Those guys who are covering kicks, I thought, had a really good ball game.
Yes, kickoff coverage has been really good. We got to get the ball placed exactly where we want it and be more consistent with that. We've got a young kickers in there, and they're going to get better and better. I'm excited about them still. Punt coverage, punting the ball down the field. We're not consistent as we want. We've had some long ones, but our coverage has been real good. The kicking the extra points, they're really getting a rush on us, and just happened to be a couple of real good pass rushers, and I mean, not pass rushers, but kick rushers, and they're getting their hands way up. I'm talking about, so we got to get that ball up as well, but we also got to stay firm and keep them out of there and keep the pressure off. So just a combination of two things, and I think like we've worked on that more than we ever have before. So it's hopefully going to help us in the ball game.
McNeese State this weekend playing up a division, and so you know the talent level is going to be a real challenge for this Choctaw football team. Any differences in preparation for this week as weeks passed? No, it's very similar. And to be honest with you, this is a team that is going to be, like you said, very talented. They're big, they're fast, they're strong. They're going to be good, and their record doesn't show it, but they've been playing up as well. They've been playing good FCS teams, but also a Division 1A team in Rice, and they went over to Houston to play them. So I know that they're looking for a win. They're going to be really good and really talented. I would, I'm not going to say compare them to the GSC, but they're definitely as good as the best in the GSC talent-wise. So we're not going to be able to go in and push anybody around. We're going to have to play really well, keep the football, and keep their offense off the field. There's some familiarity there as well because of the coaching staff they have at McNeese State. There's no doubt. They were at Valdosta State, and they've done a good job at Valdosta State, and I'm sure they'll do a good job there. They just got there, though. All right, Coach, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it. You bet. Thank you. John Bland with us before the game against McNeese State this weekend.